Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another post-game show on Big Nick Energy YouTube channel. Mill here with another show, and the Knicks got the win tonight, 113-92 over the Charlotte Hornets. This was a great win and a great way to just start this stretch of games that we're going to be missing Julius Randle. So it's really nice that we got the win tonight. Definitely took a group effort, and multiple people stepped up with the absence of OG and Julius Randle, including Donte DiVincenzo, who you can see next to me, had a huge game tonight in Charlotte. He had 28 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Something about Charlotte. He always seems to go off here in Charlotte, but it was a huge game for him. I mean, he was feeling it tonight, shooting everything lights out basically, and tonight he had 5 3-pointers. He did take 15 though, which is a lot of 3-pointers because you don't usually see Donte take that many 3-pointers. But hey, he got 5 out of those, and he was actually 10 for 22 from the field, and he had 4 free throws. So you love to see him be aggressive, especially in the absence of some of our players missing tonight. If you didn't see the game or you didn't hear, along with Julius Randle's injury, we missed OG Anunoby. He has an inflamed elbow. I think that's his injury. Something inflammation in his elbow. So he was out tonight. I didn't even know about that pretty much until I'd say a few hours before the game, or right around tip off. Really, they announced that he wasn't going to be playing. So it was a little. I was a little nervous to have, to be without OG, but these guys stepped up and they played hard, especially as a team. And hopefully we can get OG back in the next game. I'm honestly not sure how long his injury will keep him. I know it's his elbow is inflamed, so I don't think it'll be anything longer than another game, or he might even be back the next game, but we'll see updates on that. However, if you didn't see earlier today, Woj tweeted that Julius Randle's injury looks like it's expected to be a few weeks rather than a few months. So that's really great news. If you didn't hear that already, great news. And a lot of us fans are a little bit relieved because we were thinking it was going to be a season-ending injury, especially because we hadn't heard anything in a few days. They went a few days without letting anyone know what was going on or what the results said in his MRI. But earlier today, Woj tweeted a few other reporters that it looks like it's supposed to be a few weeks, not months. Great to hear that because we definitely don't want his season to end. He's been a huge part of this Knicks team's success. We want him back on the court as soon as possible, so the sooner the better. And if it's going to be a few weeks, I can take that. I can definitely handle that, and I'll be okay with that, especially because we have All-Star Weekend coming up. That gives him another break as well, a little bit of a break for the Knicks with that All-Star Week. We have Benjamin in the comments here. He's talking about the Nets, though. Nets are crushing Utah. Okay, but let's talk about this Knicks win. It was a great win tonight, and it was our 7th win in a row. We're on a great winning streak right now, and I honestly think we have the longest winning streak in the NBA right now, 7. And I'm really hoping we could hit 10. We've been doing it for like the past few years. I remember we did it last year, and I remember we did it the year prior with Derrick Rose on our team, and probably not the year prior then. It was probably that 2021 team. We had hit a 10-game win streak, and I want to do it this year as well. Benjamin said we're not ready for Utah. Yeah, Utah is gonna be another test. I would just say it's another game we have to look out for, and we will be playing on a back-to-back against Utah, so that's something we have to watch out. And if these guys are going to be, if you see they look exhausted out there, that's because they will be. A lot of our starters played a bunch of minutes tonight. Let's go through it. DiVincenzo played 42 minutes, Josh Hart with 39, Jalen Brunson 34, and Precious, huge game for him. I mean, 33 minutes. These guys played a majority of the game. If you see tomorrow that we don't get off to the pace that we'd like, it's definitely because they're tired and it's a back-to-back game. But yeah, Benjamin said, be nervous for Utah tomorrow. With this Knicks team, with the flow we're on right now, our 7th win in a row tonight, I honestly say let's take it on. I definitely think it'll be a good game, and someone else is going to have to step up tomorrow night. Tonight it was Donte DiVincenzo, and it was a few other guys, including Precious, who, played a huge role tonight. And then tomorrow night, it could be the same guys. It could be different guys. We might see Grimes have a bigger game than he did tonight. Tonight he only had 7 points in 32 minutes, and McBride had 11 points. He had a good game, but it might be their time tomorrow night. So we'll see who steps up, because missing Julius Randle in the next few weeks, they're gonna need to step up. It doesn't matter who it is. It can be Brunson every night. I'm sure he's going to keep scoring 30 points a game every night, but he'll need some help. So definitely other guys will have to fulfill their duties and score more. Albert said, "What do you think? Will Tibbs be back next year? I would like to see Ty Lue." Honestly, I've never really been one to say fire Tibbs in his time here so far, the few years he's been here. I never really said we have to fire him. I know some fans have gone to the extent of saying that, but there was never a time where I full on felt like we had to fire him. Of course, he's made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. All coaches do. And of course, there's been times where I don't agree with his decisions, whether that be substitutions or coaching mistakes in late game. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes when you don't call a timeout, whatever, mistakes happen throughout the game, and you have to blame it on the coach as well sometimes. So personally, I think it depends on what happens in this postseason, if Tibbs will be back next year. Because let's say we don't make it past the second round again, that might be a sign that we need a different coach to help us get further than the second round. We might need another coach to just push us more. I think Tibbs has been coaching really well this season. And, especially after the trade, he's been making things work. These guys have been playing great. Everyone has been great. It all depends on what happens, I think, later on in the season, in the playoffs. We'll see, because last playoffs we got outcoached by Miami. Eric Spoelstra, he completely outcoached Tibbs. There were a lot of things Tibbs did wrong, and some things I didn't agree with. When Randle was playing very poorly, and because clearly he was dealing with his injury, sometimes he was still out there, and I thought, we do have a backup power forward. We did at that time. We had Obi Toppin. I thought, hey, give him a chance, let him be out there. It's probably better than having injured Julius Randle out there. So that's one thing I didn't agree with last year. And also, our three-point shooting was awful in the postseason, completely awful. I would have liked to see him experiment a little bit differently. I know this is a stretch, guys, but it wouldn't have hurt to give Fournier a little bit of minutes in the playoffs, see if he could give us some three-point shooting. Or even, McBride has definitely developed his shot a lot more this season. But last season, we didn't really see him in the postseason that much. Would have liked to see more minutes from him, especially against the Miami series. I think that would have been interesting. He's a pest on the defensive end. He's great out there. And honestly, I would have just liked to see different things happen during the playoff series we didn't see. So I think it'll all depend on what happens this year, if he'll come back. If he'll be back. But to talk more about the game here, this was our first game without Julius Randle. Prayers to Randle. I really don't know. We don't know the full extent of his injury, like the timeline specifically, because the reporters are just saying it's most likely weeks and not months, but we still don't know. Like that could mean 6 weeks, that could mean 4 weeks, that could mean 8 weeks. We really don't know the exact timeline, but I hope he's doing good. I don't think he was out there in Charlotte. I don't think he would be. So if he's home, I hope he's doing well despite the dislocated shoulder. I know it's tough, and he's a tough guy. He's a tough player. He's going to get through this. You got this, Randle. I know he's not watching, but we still got to show we got to show our support for him. A lot of Knicks fans are coming together, uniting to show their support, and I really love that. But to talk further about this game, as soon as the stream started, I mentioned it. DiVincenzo had a huge game. Something about being in Charlotte it triggers him to go off. And obviously you can see it next to me as well. I displayed Jalen Brunson's stats. He had 32, right on point. He's been having a lot of 30-point games lately, right around 30, 32. So he was right on point. And he was only 2 for 6 from the 3-point line, and he was 13 for 24 from the field. He shot 4 out of 5 free throws. And along with his 32 points, he had 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. So another great game by Brunson, and he just always seems to make the most impossible shots ever. They're so clutch, and they're so enjoyable to watch because they're not easy shots. These shots that he's making, they're always over a guy that's taller than him, and it's always fading away or turning around. They're crazy shots, and he keeps making them over and over. Definitely an all-star season for him. The way he's been playing, it's been spectacular. Big reason why the Knicks have had such success this season, especially as of late this month. And let's see, Precious Achiuwa, he started tonight in the absence of OG and Randle. He was 4 for 6 from the field. He made 1 3-pointer, which is pretty surprising. He doesn't really take too many threes or make a lot of threes. So in total, he had 9 points. He had 5 rebounds, and he had 1 block. And he was a plus 21 in the plus minus section. So he was definitely impacting the game in a real positive way. Even though he didn't score a lot, 9 points is still, pretty good for him. Since he got traded, he hasn't really scored that many points, but 9 is great for him. I know he's had another good game before this, but still, great, solid performance from him. And the defense was great as well. I love the fact that he's always grabbing rebounds too. He is originally a power forward, but before Randle and OG went down, he was playing backup center for us, and he can grab rebounds all right. I remember another game he took down like 10 rebounds, and to do that, being someone who was originally a power forward, it's impressive. But that leads me into who I'm speaking about next, Josh Hart, another guy that's impressive. I mean, look at the rebounds he grabbed tonight, 12 rebounds. That's insane, because I said it was impressive for Precious to do it, who is originally a power forward, but Josh Hart is a guard, and he is 6'4". So to be grabbing 12 rebounds is insane, and I shouldn't even say it surprises me, because we've seen Josh Hart do this multiple times. This is what he does. So along with those 12 rebounds, he had 7 assists, and he had 8 points. So huge game for him as well. 7 assists, that might be his season high, honestly. I don't usually see him grabbing those many assists a game. I would say I've seen him with 5, maybe 6 before, but I don't think I've seen him with 7 or more. So that might be his season high, and he played great tonight. Huge hustle guy, and so many moments tonight where he just uplifted the Knicks, whether it was grabbing a rebound, making a shot, or like passing the ball, because he had 7 assists, so he was making the right passes. He was 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, but his shots came from the field tonight, so he got buckets in other ways. I like it when he drives to the basket, really underrated at that, and he's super powerful when he does it. He somehow pushes his way through multiple guys and gets it in for the layup. But besides Hart, we spoke about DiVincenzo, we spoke about Brunson, and Hartenstein. Let's talk about the other Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein. He didn't play too many minutes tonight. He only played 16, but in those 16 minutes, he had 10 points, and he was 4 for 4 from the field, shot 3 free throws, made 2, and pulled down 4 rebounds, and he had 3 steals. So solid, great game from him as well, even though he didn't play much. He did start tonight, like we mentioned, because of the absence of OG and Randle. So my fault, guys. He always starts, but I was getting it confused with Precious and Hart. So yeah, he always starts, but he didn't play much. And let's see at the bench here. Jericho Sims did play a lot of minutes tonight too. He played 24 minutes, and in those 24 minutes, he had 6 points, was 3 for 3 from the field, 7 rebounds. I mean, guys, look at all the rebounds these guys are getting. Let's see. Sims had 7 rebounds. DiVincenzo had 6 rebounds. Hart had 12. You have Hardenstein with 4, Precious with 5. Even Jalen Brunson had 4. Like, everyone was grabbing those rebounds tonight, and those make such a huge difference in the game. Those can give you second chance opportunities if they're offensive rebounds, or just getting regular rebounds helps as well. So huge part of the game tonight was rebounding, and we got a majority of them. Shout out to Josh Hart, who had 12, and shout out to Sims, who I know hasn't had a lot of minutes this season, but when he gets time, he shows up and he's doing his job. He's not a guy that's going to give you 10 or 15 off the bench, but he's going to grab the rebounds for you, and he's going to show up. So he had 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. It's not a lot, but it's something, and that's what we're going to have to see from these guys with the absence of Julius Randle. Other guys are going to play more minutes, and they're going to be doing more little things that all contributes to the win. Along with Jericho Sims off the bench, we had McBride. I think I spoke about him a little bit, but he had 11 off the bench. He was feeling it too. He had 3 3-pointers, so he was feeling it, and he also had a block, pretty good block. It says he did. Oh no, he got a steal. So I guess they counted it as a steal, but the play to me looked a little bit like a block. So they counted it as a steal, and then he went back on the other end and shot a 3 and made it. That was a really nice play for him. But yeah, solid game from him. 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, and no rebounds, or he did get 1 assist, and like I mentioned, 1 steal. So 11 points off the bench. That's the type of stuff we need. Like, it's so important that we have other scorers besides Jalen Brunson in these next few weeks, because Jalen Brunson can't do it by himself. He's gonna need help. I definitely think there'll come a time where it looks like Jalen Brunson is going to be doing it by himself. I mean, we already saw that in the playoffs last season, but these guys need to help him out, and they definitely did that tonight. Quentin Grimes also played a huge game because he played 32 minutes. He was out there for a long time. But in those 32 minutes, he only had 7 points. He was 3 for 11 from the field, so he did struggle tonight, especially from the 3-point line as well. He was 1 for 6. Couldn't really get anything going from there. We know that's his specialty, though. However, we did get the win, and he still contributed. So being out there in those 32 minutes, his defense was still a big factor. Besides the scoring, besides being a 3-point shooter, we know Grimes for what he is, and that's a defensive player. Last year, he was a huge part of our team's success because of the defense he would play every night as a starter, and he still does that. Even though he comes off the bench now. And he did grab 2 rebounds, 2 assists, so, he got a little bit more than just points right there. And other than that, a few other players off the bench got to play the last few minutes of the game. Malachi Flynn, he played 2 minutes, and Ryan Archidiak, why am I messing up his name? Archidiakono, he played 2 minutes. Charlie Brown Jr. played 2 minutes as well. His name is still funny to me, but yeah, they all played 2 minutes at the end there. And let's see, Flynn scored 2 points, but the other 2 didn't score. They pretty much got the garbage minutes of the game, but they still did what they did in those 2 minutes. I mean, Malachi, I wish he could get some more minutes somehow, because he looks like a nice guard, honestly. He can drive to the basket, he can facilitate well, he could bring up the ball, handle the ball, but unfortunately, he just can't get that many minutes right now. We might be seeing more of him, but again, McBride is our backup point guard, and Jalen Brunson's our first point guard, so he's going to be playing majority of the game. And then when he's not playing the game, when he's on the game, it'll be McBride. McBride will have that job up there. So Malachi, I don't think he's going to get much minutes in the future, unless there's like a rotation, a lineup change or anything, or if someone else goes down, then yeah. But this was a good game. I enjoyed watching it, and we developed quite a lead later in the game. I'd say like the second quarter, third quarter. third quarter was huge. The Knicks scored, I think it was 44 points they mentioned, over 40 points in the third quarter. It was a huge quarter. You love to see that, especially because there's been so many times in the Knicks past where the third quarter was not our friend. I would say that. We would come out of halftime and these guys would look sluggish. They would look like they had like a whole buffet in the locker room during halftime, but no, sometimes that was the case, and we would come out of halftime not being able to score, not being able to defend, but that wasn't the case tonight. The third quarter was amazing for them. Like I mentioned, over 40 points in that third quarter, and Jalen Brunson was feeling it. All the guys were feeling it. That really, they were able to develop their lead and stick with it. But in that fourth quarter, Charlotte did try chipping away at the lead. They did get it. I think they cut it down to 15, maybe a little less than 15, because the largest lead was 29. So basically 30 points. They did chip it down to, I just said like 15 or a little bit less. So I honestly, I didn't know what was going to happen, because it looked like Charlotte was going on a nice little run there. They were hitting their shots, and we pulled away once again. Jalen Brunson did his thing. He hits those clutch shots. It's one of the main reasons that I love his playing style so much, is that he's so clutch. Like, he's definitely the most clutch player on the Knicks. And when we need a bucket, he's going to make it. A lot of people refer to him as a winning player, a player that could score in crunch time, that could play in those hard moments, and that's so true. Every hard moment that he's had as a Knick so far, he's been able to do it. He's been able to score through it. We can go back to last year's playoffs and mention all of what he did, or every game, the few games this season where maybe we needed a bucket really bad. Maybe the other team was about to make a run, and he hit that basket. It really it impresses me every time he's able to do it. And I'm so glad we have someone that can actually do it. I mean, for a long time, we didn't have anyone. we didn't have a point guard in general that could do what he does. And then to have a point guard like him that is so clutch, that will hit those baskets you need someone to hit, it's great. It's great. And I love being a Knicks fan, watching the Knicks games right now. It's so enjoyable. This has been a great month. I mean, it's January 29th, and I think we're 13, and I'm actually going to check. I think we're 13-2 this month, somewhere around that. I know we've only lost 2 games this month. So it's been a really good month. Big task at hand said, is blowing teams out the new norm? For us, it is, because this Knicks team, they're different. Even without Randle, we somehow managed to blow out the Charlotte Hornets, and in the game have a largest lead of 29. So basically 30 points. It's insane. Without Randle, without OG, we're doing this. We've blown out multiple teams this month, and we continue to do so. And I have hope that we will be able to do so still in the next few weeks, even without Randle. I think we're going to get OG back next game, hopefully. I don't know. I haven't seen any updates on that. I don't think it's an injury that should take him out longer than, another game, but we'll see. We'll watch that. Someone said Knicks won't lose another game this season. At the rate we're going and just the confidence I have in these guys, you might be right. I'm kidding, but it's been a great stretch of games, and we just love winning. We love winning. I think I'm addicted to winning now, because the next loss that the Knicks have, I think I'm going to be really upset, because we're so used to winning. We're so used to the great basketball we're seeing, the defense especially, where I believe we're the number 1 defense in the league, and it's a huge credit to OG and what he brings to the team. So if the next Knicks loss, I think I might have a bad post game and go on a rant or something, but it's just because we're winning so much. We should be able to keep winning. Even with Randle out, I just have so much hope and confidence in this team. I have confidence in Jalen Brunson that he can carry this team. He's done it before. He did it with an injured Randle in the playoffs. And I think he can continue to put up these numbers like 32 points a game. We might even see another 40-point game from him, or maybe an even a 50-point game. We'll see. Jalen Brunson is not someone you should underestimate at all. He can do it. Why are we saying Nets? Let's go Nets. Benjamin, I'm sorry, but why are you in this comment section if you're a Nets fan? I mean, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for, the view, but this is a Knicks post game, and we're talking about the Knicks winning right now. We're talking about our success, 7th win in a row. And I'm sorry. Your Nets have not been that great. And maybe Ben Simmons played today. I think that's what I heard, but no, I don't see you guys anywhere near us. You guys are food to us. It's not a rivalry. I'm sorry. Let's see. Any more comments over here? Trust said, big up Tibbs for getting the guys ready. Give Tibbs the bag. Yeah, Tibbs has been really good. This past month, and he's been really well as a coach for the Knicks ever since he became a coach for us. We've had a winning record last season, and we're gonna have a winning record this season. I think he's been pretty good, honestly. We're gonna be going to the playoffs again, so that'll be like 3 out of 4 times we will have been to the playoffs with him, and I think that's pretty good. If we don't make it past the second round this year, though, and we get out coached, like if it's a huge reason we don't make it past the next round is because we got out coached, I do think it might be a conversation that we get another coach that could take us over the edge and to the next level. But, with the rate we're going right now, things have been great. He's been coaching great, so we'll see what happens. Daniel said, great game. Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Everyone stepped up, because first game without Randle, and who knew we'd be without OG too? Kind of panicked when I heard we would be without OG, and without OG and Randle, I thought maybe this was a loss. Maybe this was going to be harder than I thought. But the Knicks cruised out there, and pretty much they got their way. They got everything they wanted, all the baskets. It's like, how many 3-pointers did we have? We only had 12 3-pointers tonight. We definitely struggled from the 3-point line. I remember in like the first quarter, maybe even the second, couldn't really hit any perimeter shots. So there was a stretch of time in the game that we were struggling from the field, from 3-point line as well. But overall, let's look at some team stats over here. We shot 16 free throws. We made 13, so that was 81%. I like to hear that. I like to keep it over 80%. By the time playoffs come, I just want us to be a better free throw shooting team, at least over 85%. We need to get that unlocked, get that mastered. To me, I'm thinking so ahead. I'm thinking about the playoffs like so often, and I need things to be fixed by then. I need Julius Randle to be back. I want Mitchell Robinson back. I want our free throw shooting to be good, and I want quality role players that will step up for us in the playoffs. I do think we have some of those guys on our team right now, but I still think could be possible we trade for another quality scorer out there. Rebounds, we had 42. Let's see. A lot of the stats are pretty even between both teams. Assists, pretty even. Steals, even. They had more blocks than us. Oh, we did limit our turnovers as well. We only had 9 turnovers, which was really impressive. I like to keep it under 10 as well. And there's some games where all we do is turnover. Not recently though, because obviously this is our 7th win in a row. But I definitely like to limit the turnovers, and they did that tonight, keeping it under 10. Points in the paint, we had 62 compared to their 46. Yeah, because I mentioned earlier that we weren't really able to make shots from the perimeter early on, guys were taking it inside. Jalen Brunson was taking it inside. Josh Hart, he struggled from the 3-point line, so a lot of his shots were from the field. He took it right to the basket. So there were definitely a lot of plays like that. Even Donte DiVincenzo, although we saw him score 5 threes tonight, he did do other things besides just shoot from the 3-point line. He took it to the basket. Um, he got to the free throw line. He drew contact. I really liked what I saw from him tonight. Technical fouls. Oh yeah, did you guys see that their head coach got ejected? It really sucks that happened. Just because, I feel bad when a head coach gets ejected, and then his players were literally laughing at him. It was that's very disrespectful to him for his own players to be laughing. And I think LaMelo Ball was in that group as well. So they definitely need to be more mature about that. You just saw your head coach get ejected. He was furious. He was advocating for your teammates out there. I'm pretty sure he was upset about a non-foul call, something like that. But he's advocating for you guys out there, and you're just straight up laughing at him that he's getting upset about that. He has emotion. He has passion for the game, for his players, his team. Definitely he needs to have a talk with his players, because that was straight up disrespectful that they were laughing at him. That's their problem, though. Terry said orange and blue skies. Yup. Orange and blue skies. We're going to keep winning, and there will continue to be orange and blue skies. 7th win in a row. Let's see how far we can get. Let's see what the Knicks schedule looks like in the next few games. So I know tomorrow night we play Utah Jazz. It's a back-to-back, which is tough because a lot of our starters played huge minutes. Even Grimes off the bench played 32 minutes. So our guys are going to be tired out there. But we'll see if we could get a win. Trying to find the schedule here. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we play the Jazz tomorrow at 7:30. This is not the schedule. This is just games we've won, and right now we are 30-17. That's our record. Huge accomplishment, hitting 30 wins on the season so far. With the rate the Knicks are going, I think they're headed towards a 50-win season. And that'll be the first since the 2012-2013 team with Melo, JR, Jason Kidd, all those guys right there. So if we hit 50 wins, it'll be almost 10 years since we've done it. I really hope we do hit it. I think we will. It'll be tough now, obviously, because we don't have Randle. But I don't know. I have hope in these guys. I have a lot of confidence in Jalen Brunson. I think we could get there. Yes. So I just mentioned it. Next game is at Utah tomorrow. Then on Thursday, we play the Pacers. And I actually might be going to that game. I might. But it'll be the first time Obi Toppin is back in the Garden. It says tickets as low as 62. Are tickets really that low? I don't think tickets go as low as 62 at the Garden. Sorry, next to the games it says tickets as low, and they offer you a price, but I don't think tickets can be that low at the Garden. I don't know. I'll see. But after they play Indiana on Thursday, they will be playing the Lakers on Saturday. All right. And then they have 2 days off. They'll play again Tuesday against Memphis. That's a win. So I see a win against, I know it's going to be tough, but I'm going to say we get a win tomorrow night as well Our guys are young. They have fresh legs. And if we get OG back, that'll be huge for tomorrow night. For Indiana, I honestly say we get a win as well. But also, depending on, is Halliburton playing? That's the thing that matters to me. I know he's been dealing with his own injury and he's missed quite a few games recently. So once I find out if he's playing or not, then I'll pretty much make my decision if the Knicks take that win or not. And then Los Angeles, the Lakers. I'm gonna take the Knicks. Okay, I know actually they're coming off a really good win against the Warriors, but I'm still gonna take the Knicks. And is that at home? I think that might be at home. Let me see. Yeah, so that's at home as well. That's in Madison Square Garden. I just think that all the games we have at home are a huge advantage to us. So I take that as another win. And Memphis is a win. True Testament next Thursday, though. February 8th is against Dallas. And the last time we played Dallas, pretty sure we all know that we lost and Kyrie Irving went off. What did he have? 40, 30, something like that. He went off against us and we couldn't stop him. We had OG. I think we played him. We played them this past month, a few weeks ago, and we had OG, but no one could really stop Kyrie Irving. So we really need to watch Dallas in that game. And the thing is, Luka didn't play in that game. I don't know what kind of injury he was dealing with, or if it's a long-term injury. I don't think so, but he's probably going to be back for that game. It's going to be even harder with him and Kyrie. That might be a loss right there, but we'll see. So looking at these, I see a few wins in the next week, the next 2 weeks. I think we'll be able to do it. Without Randle, of course, it's going to be harder, but other guys are going to step up. Tonight it was Donte DiVincenzo. It might be someone else tomorrow night. You never know. It could be, it could be Quentin Grimes. It could be McBride. It could be Josh Hart. Josh Hart had a huge game tonight as well, but we'll see. And y'all got Indy on Thursday. Yeah, I'm actually trying to go to that game. I might. It's going to be crazy to see Obi back in the Garden. Just because I was a huge OG fan. OB fan. Sorry if I said OG. I was a huge OB fan. And a little bit hurt when he got traded. I have his jersey, but we'll see. I think he's been doing pretty good on Indiana. I think there's been a little bit ups and downs with his starting role. I don't think he's a starter anymore. But I recently saw that he had a game winner, so that's cool for him. But that on Thursday, we're going to need to take the win. Even though I like OB, we're going to have to take the win. JNY Sports had really good game tonight. Yeah. I feel like it was light work for them. Even without Randle, even without OG, it was light work. We had a huge lead at one point. We had a 30-point lead. Honestly, the Hornets were food to them because apparently they're last in the league in defense. So that really shows. The Knicks were able to have their way. Jalen Brunson had his way. They even let Donte DiVincenzo have his way. 28 points. Let's see. I want to get to this first. Trust said Celtics are the only team to fear. Honestly. Like we won against Philly. We blew them out even with Joel Embiid. So that just gives me confidence right there. Milwaukee is a team that they have won against us and we've won against them as well, but I think that's a team that we could take on. And Celtics, we could definitely fear them. I don't know. I would like to see that matchup again because the first few times we played the Celtics, it was early on in the season and we had a different team. We had RJ on our team. We had Quickly. We didn't have OG. So the next time we play the Celtics, it's going to be different. I definitely feel it will be different and there might be a different outcome. You know, we've lost to them multiple times this season. I think it'll be a win, especially if we do have OG. He'll be huge, especially on the defensive end, guarding either Tatum or Jalen Brown, whoever he guards. He'll be able to limit them in some capacity. So you're right. Celtics are the team to fear for us. But other than that, I think we can contend against everyone else. Let's see. A few more comments. Pops just said Villanova. Nothing else. Just Villanova. You're right, Pops, though, because this team has a lot of Nova guys. The Nova connection, they call it, between Jalen, Donte, Hart. They actually, that trio right there had a huge game tonight. I didn't put Hart's stats up here, but let me go back to that really quick. He had 12 rebounds. That's what I know for sure. Huge game for him. He stepped up, and I know I've definitely doubted Hart in the past, especially right before the trade, right before the RJ and IQ trade. We were going through a little bit of a stretch where there was games we were losing that we definitely could have won, and he was going through a really bad shooting stretch, not able to get a bucket at all. So it looked like he was doing cardio out there. So yeah, I've been down on Hart before, but he's been great so far, and he's really stepped up in ways that have helped this team, especially tonight. He stepped up and he does all the dirty work, really. He gets those rebounds as a 6'4" guard. He is out there hustling, defending, everything, passing. He had 7 assists. 7 assists, guys. He's not our point guard. Jalen Brunson's our point guard. He had 7 assists, but Josh Hart had 7 assists as well. Salute. What's up, Artifact? Great win tonight. Someone said, "Do you think Tibbs will give Jacob Toppin some burn? He's back. He's back on our bench." Honestly, I don't think Tibbs will do it. You know, we were able to win this game without OG and Randle, so and Toppin didn't get any minutes. You said he was on the bench. I actually didn't see that, but if he was there, yeah, he didn't get any minutes. So I definitely would like to see him get some minutes. I think he plays as a forward as well, or is he a center? Let me see. And he's been going off in the G League. I don't know if you guys have been peeping that, but he had like a 30-point game the other night, and I think even recently 32. So how tall is he? He's 6'8", and he's a small forward. So yeah, he's pretty tall. I mean, taller than some of the guards we have on our team, 6'4", all that. But I definitely like to see him get a few minutes, maybe as, the backup 4 or something similar to that. Jonathan said 44 points, Mr. Sellout Irving. Oh yeah, with when we played Dallas, it was 44 points because he went off on us. We need to limit him next game. It's hard though because he says he loves playing again. Not the next game, the next time we play them. But it's hard because, like I mentioned, he said he loves playing against the Knicks because he always beats us, and he does. I don't think we've beat him in a few years, honestly. So you're saying Deuce will get loose? He's already loose, honestly. Solid game from him tonight. I think he had. Let's check the box score again. I kind of went away from that. I was looking at the schedule, but we'll check it again. Deuce should be loose because I've sort of doubted him as well. Just not him particularly, but I've said before in the past that I think we need another bench scorer because I don't think McBride and Grimes can do it consistently. But they're kind of proving me wrong. McBride with 11 tonight and 3 3-pointers. Also doing what he does best on the defensive end, being a pest, being a menace out there. He did it all. So Deuce is loose. And hopefully it continues to be that way. Hopefully he can continue to produce in offensive ways because we all know he plays defense really well. But I just want to see him continue to score. Jonathan said, yeah, Toppin is missed, but remember Tibbs didn't give him enough minutes. That's why he left, though. Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, I was talking about that earlier, that, I was sad that we traded him, but it was for the best, honestly, for his best interest. He wanted more minutes. He wanted a bigger role. I think that's sort of what he's getting in Indiana. I don't know. I think his role is a little bit questionable there. I think he's been having some up and downs with the being permanently the starter spot, but yeah. The disrespect, James said. Who did I disrespect? Let me know. I'm sorry if I disrespected someone. And Jeep said was never worried throughout the whole game. Yeah, same. Never really worried. This was like you were just watching it for fun, basically. Um, the beginning, it wasn't too good because the Knicks were missing a lot of shots, especially from the field, from the 3-point line. But when they got it going, yeah, I was not worried at all. And I knew they had this one in the bag. We had a lead of 30 at one point. So that goes to tell you everything. Ace said, "Hi, Millie. Nice win tonight. We should be okay until Randle gets back." Honestly, Ace, I think we'll be all right. I know a lot of people have been what's the word? Let's say overreacting or worried. Yeah, they've been worried with Randall's injury and him missing the next few weeks. And I am as well, because I don't want us to take a dip in the standings. I don't want us to go back to 8th or 7th or 6th. We're at 4 right now, and we're actually like 2 games back from the 3rd spot. And we might even be 1 game back, depending if Philly wins tonight. I think they're playing tonight. Let me check that. Philly, yeah. Yeah, they're playing right now. They're playing against the Trailblazers, so of course they're gonna win. But we're 2 games back from them as the 3rd seed. And without Randall, I do think we'll be fine. They just have to play as a team like they did tonight. Continue to step up for one another and do the little things to get those wins. It'll definitely be harder against the good teams as well. Tonight, obviously, the Hornets are not a good team, so it was pretty easy for them to get the win and to show out, for Donte to get 28. It was easy for them. Who's going to lock down Porzingis? Maybe Mitch will be back. I haven't heard the term Porzingis in so long. I heard the Celtics. Are Celtics fans using that term? Because I know us Knicks fans, we use it religiously. And we use the unicorn as well as a nickname. But are they still calling him that? I'm curious to know that. I haven't seen a Celtic fan say that, but yeah, who will guard him? Well, in the beginning of the season, the first few times we played them, it was Mitchell Robinson, and that was a tough matchup for Robinson back then, because we know Mitchell Robinson is a traditional center. He doesn't like to go too far out, especially to guard people, and Porzingis is a stretch. He's a stretch 5. He's a stretch big. He is going to be out on the 3-point line, ready to shoot a 3-pointer. So Robinson did not want to guard those threes back then. And that's pretty much why Porzingis went off on us a few times earlier in the season. But now, who would guard him if Mitchell Robinson doesn't come back? It would be Hartenstein, really. And I think Hartenstein would be able to do a better job, just because he can get out on the 3-point line. I would say better. And Hartenstein is also a great defensive player, just like Mitch. Oh, but if you're speaking about the playoffs, I think Mitch will be back, honestly, before the end of this season. So it might be Mitch that takes on that matchup right there again. Terry said, "Should we fear or respect the Celtics?" We shouldn't. We shouldn't respect them. Come on, they're our enemies. They're our number one enemies right now. We got to look out for, because I mean they're number one in the league. They're number one in the East. Everyone's obviously looking out for them, and they're everyone's enemy. But I don't know if we should fear either. I don't want to say that, because this Knicks team has been so good, and they're on their 7th win in a row. We don't fear anyone right now. Well, let's just say we're cautious, and we're watching. We're watching them, and we're going to see how the next matchup goes. Albert said, "Tomorrow we need to prioritize winning that game over keeping the win streak." Yeah, I really hope we keep the win streak going. I want to hit 10. I really do, for some reason. I really like to hit 10. And it'll be hard because it is a back-to-back, and it's against Utah. So it's a tough matchup right there. But again, this team is on a roll. They've been on a roll all month. And if we get OG back, that'll be even better. It'll be a good game. see. A few more comments here before I just start to wrap up. Jonathan said, I love to win against Brooklyn. Yeah. JNY Sports said, I'm hoping the Knicks can make another move for a veteran scorer. Honestly, you and me both. I think that we still need, even before all the things just happened recently, I think they were still looking in the trade market for another scorer, specifically off the bench. And I'm also hoping it is a veteran, someone like Malcolm Brogdon, who is, I think he's 31 right now, 31 years old, and he's had a lot of experience. He had experience on the Celtics last year. I would love to have a guy like him off the bench for us that can consistently score and step up and lead. He would be one of the older guys on the team, especially off that bench with a lot of young guys. Well, depending if Grimes is still there, I don't know if he would be. He'd probably be gone in that trade. But McBride, Sims, Precious, Hart even is younger than him, so he would be able to lead that unit, and I think that'd work out really well. James said you disrespect the Hornets by calling them food. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I have to say it like it is. I know Brandon Miller, he has a high potential, but right now they're food to the Knicks. We just won our 30th game. You guys have 10 wins on the season, so I have to call it as it is. Someone said, can anyone please answer this question for me? Where was OG in the game? Did he get hurt in a game and I didn't notice? So actually, he missed tonight's game with an inflammation in his elbow. I didn't even know before tip-off, basically, like an hour, I would say a little bit before the game started. This wasn't announced, after our last game against the Miami Heat. It wasn't announced at all. The main thing everyone was concerned about was Julius Randle, but it was announced before the game. He has an inflamed elbow injury. I'm not sure how long that'll keep him out, if it'll keep him out another game. I don't think it will. I don't think it's a huge injury. I think he just needed to rest, honestly. And let's see, did he get hurt in a game I didn't notice? I don't think he's really hurt. I think it's in his elbow's inflamed, so he's probably just his body cannot handle what he's been doing recently, which is crazy. It's true because he's been playing crazy minutes. I honestly think he missed this game for rest, and it was against a bad team, so it was a good game to rest him. You didn't not notice anything because last game it wasn't shown in the game where he got hurt. Jonathan said third seed is better than nothing. I really think we can get there. I definitely think it's possible. I would love to be in the third seed. And just to show everyone that the Knicks are actually contenders. So many people still call the Knicks trash, still trash them and make fun of us and say we're bad. But if we were to be, we're great where we are right now, and we've been doing great. But if we make it to that third seed, I think that just puts a stamp on everything, and it shows everyone like we're actually contenders. We can do this. A few more comments. Let's see. Brooklyn Bridges. Let's raid this chat. What's going on there? Anyways, guys. Oh yeah. So right, Test Future said bothered him in warm-ups. Yeah. So like you said it. I think I missed that segment where they were mentioning that, but I did see them show it on the screen where he did warm up with the team. And I guess his elbow was bothering him, so they decided to rest him. But I think it's really good he got the rest because he's been playing an unbearable amount of minutes past few games, or basically ever since he got traded to the Knicks. They definitely need to rest him, and hopefully he'll be ready for tomorrow. We need him tomorrow. But without further ado, before I begin to close this up, if everyone in the chat, whoever's watching, if you can please subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed already. We're still trying to get as many subscribers as we can, and we're hitting a lot of goals recently. So thank you to everyone who's subscribed and commenting in the chat every time. And I'd also like to point out we do have merch. Go to bignickenergy.com. Check out all the merch that we have there in the shop. I'm even wearing a piece right now. It's the Jalen Brunson t-shirt. I don't think you guys can really see it, but it's his signature celebration he does right there on the shirt. And you basically can't find a shirt like that anywhere else. So Big Nick Energy has it. Get it yourself. Merch for every player, like even Coach Tibbs. And I'll do one last comment here. Jonathan said, Millie, I don't care what those haters say. Let them call us trash. We're winning. Exactly. We can't let them get under our skin because us true Knicks fans, we know what we're all about. We know we're a successful team right now. We're a good team right now. Don't let anyone tell you that we're trash still because we just won our 7th win in a row. We just won our 30th game of the season, and we're 4th in the Eastern Conference, headed to that 3rd spot. 2 games out, guys. We're headed there. So don't even bother arguing with fans from other teams because we know what we are. And we're headed in a good direction. Even without Julius Randle, I think we'll be good. I think we'll be fine. We'll see. I'll see you guys tomorrow after our next game, which is against the Utah Jazz. It is a back-to-back. They'll start at 7:30. So I'll see you guys after that one. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you, guys.